Hi folks, this is your creator-in-chief and host of Unpartisan, taking politics out of policy, Justin Canellas. I'm here today to talk with you about our exciting new project and why we need supporters like you. Unpartisan does things a little differently than most media outlets. We really believe in transparency, and we're trying to set an example of how our government should work. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to open up this project to you and talk about some cool ideas we are working on. I will also break down what our show goals are, our budgets, and internal workings so you know exactly where your money is going. A fundamental part of this show is trying to bring people together to discuss the nuances of the important policy issues facing our day. But we need supporters like you in order to do it right. Unpartisan is a new take on political and policy reporting. We think there is not enough actual policy coverage in the mainstream media that helps audiences understand the laws that govern our everyday lives. That's why we've created this show, to do the exact opposite. Create an unpartisan policy show that helps you, the listener, understand the intricacies of a given policy topic in a fun and engaging way. We use stories of people actually affected by the policy and the experts working in the space on various sides of a topic, and not some corporate pundit in a news HQ somewhere with an agenda. We'll even give you a bunch of resources in our show notes for you to educate yourself on the topic further. Unpartisan recognizes that we all have inherent biases, but we don't play for any political team in this ridiculous game of politics we are seeing play out in real time before our eyes.
Unpartisan does not advocate for calling politics a game. It shouldn't be a game. It should be people working together to solve the issues of our day.
Bingo. And in our reporting, we go where the policy, the numbers, and the stories lead us, and we will always back up what's said on each episode in our show notes. If you have an issue with something that's said on an episode, you can see where we or our guests got their research and engage with us about counter research or numbers. And we actually encourage it, because the more people that are looking into this stuff and interpreting it means the more people that are keeping an eye on our elected representatives on both sides of the aisle and holding them accountable for their actions and our tax dollars. You know, at the heart of this show, we want to give voice to the people whose voices are often drowned out by the partisan bickering. A platform to discuss what's actually happening on the ground where policy is implemented. Not only do we focus on the issues and the implications of individual policy matters, but we always ask, what are some policy solutions? Because at the end of the day, we want to be a solutions-based policy show that you can trust. We want to be accountable only to you, the listener and supporter. This project has been entirely self-funded over the past few months, with some supporting help from the Chatham Press and a few donations. I outlined the startup costs we've put into this project thus far on our budget posted on the Patreon page. We did this to show you, the listener, that myself and my team believe in what Unpartisan can do in bringing people together to discuss tough issues without the hate and vitriol, and instead of capitalizing on what divides us, as most media outlets do. When we sat down and ran the numbers, we had these goals in mind. One, how much will it realistically cost us to produce a high-quality, unpartisan policy show twice a month? And the number we came up with is $15,000 a month. Here's the breakdown of tiers and how you can help us reach our goal of $15,000 a month for what we think is a revolutionary way of approaching policy reporting. $2 a month gets you membership of the Unpartisan community. You will get cut-the-line access when you email us and the most up-to-date information on show releases. $5 a month gets you access to all of our additional content that we release. With every episode comes a lot of great interviews, so much so that there's not enough time in one policy show to air all of the great interviews that I conduct. But as a member, you'll get access to bonus interview content we release. With just 3,000 people at this tier, we can comfortably produce this show without having to rely on outside advertising revenue. $15 a month is our We Believe in Your Streaming member. During our 2-month season break for August and September, we will be doing live streamed unpartisan policy chats. A portion of this donation will go towards that project, and you will get access to our live recorded footage. $25 a month is our Help a Friend tier, where you get access to all of the bonus content, but $5 of your money gets set aside to help someone who can't afford the $5 a month, who wants to engage and see the additional interviews. If you really believe in this show and what it can do to bring people together and help educate Americans on policies that impact their lives, you could contribute $100 or more an episode, which would allow you to fund a special project like our creative take on how a bill becomes law. Think Schoolhouse Rock with a modern, unpartisan twist in audio form. I came across a recent study published by political scientists Nathan Colomb and Liliana Mason from Louisiana State University and the University of Maryland, respectively, called Lethal Mass Partisanship. And the results of their findings were, to be honest, scary. So here's a few infographics to help you show just how bad this problem. Now, when asked if the opposing party was not just worse for politics, but if they were downright evil, 42% of people from both parties said yes, people from the other side are downright evil. And when asked, how much do you feel it is justified for your own party to use violence in advancing their political goals these days? 9% of those people from both parties said yes. Now, that might not seem like a lot of people, but when you're talking about over 136 million registered voters, 9% of that is a heck of a lot of people, and 42% is even greater. So that's why when we discuss topics, we aren't chasing the most salacious headliners. We are engaging with the experts from all sides of an issue. We aren't going to play into this divisiveness. In closing, you becoming a patron now isn't just paying for the few episodes we've released up to this point. It's an investment in this show's future and in an idea that we can approach complex policy topics through reasoned debate and discussion. You becoming a patron is an investment in the idea that the issues facing our nation are bigger than this two-party red or blue nonsense, and it's time to set aside the partisan bickering and this moral righteousness on both sides. Joining our community is an investment in the idea that we are more alike than we think, and that just because we have disagreements or approach things differently doesn't mean the other side is evil. It just means that maybe we have a little bit more work to do in opening ourselves up and learning from one another in an unpartisan way. Thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting this project. This is your host and creator-in-chief, Justin Canelas, over and out.